What is up, comic fam, and welcome to the Legion of Comics. Today we're going to be looking at next week's new comic book day, and it is a huge new comic book day, so let's get right into it. First off, let's give a big thank you to Big Time Collectibles for sponsoring the channel and the monthly Legion loot box. If you have not checked them out, be sure to do so at bigtimecollectibles.com. You can also follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Also, if you need anything cleaned or pressed, hit up Justin Comic on Instagram. He can take care of you for as little as $10 a book. And if you use that promo code WeAreLegion, you can take advantage of the special promo offer that he's running right now. Hit him up. All right, let's get right into it. Like I said, this is a huge new comic book day. The last few weeks have only had a handful of stuff that I was picking up and reading. This week, I've got 19 books on my pool. That's insane. All of these titles are hitting the same week, from series beginning, series ending, key books in between, all of that. So let's get right into it. Starting off with Detective Comics issue number 1059 by Mariko Tamaki, with interiors by the legendary Ivan Reis. So this is kicking off the first story arc after the Shadows of the Bat event that just took place, and it's focused on a Riddler-centric story. So timing it with the Batman hitting HBO Max, we're getting a Riddler story inside of the pages of Detective Comics. Next up, we have Justice League issue number 75. This is the one that I've been waiting on. I'm so excited. We've got Joshua Williamson, one of the primary architects of current DC Comics continuity, taking on the epic event Dark Crisis, and it all starts right here in the pages of Justice League issue number 75. Next up, we have Action Comics issue number 1042, and this is done by none other than Philip Kennedy Johnson, with that beautiful Riccardo Federici cover. He's been on the interiors for a lot of these lately. It's been amazing. This is continuing the Warworld saga, where Clark is not on Earth, but he's stuck on Warworld with Mongul, trying to free the people of Warworld. He's not alone, though. Midnighter's there, and he's been building resistance. And this issue is supposed to give us the origin of this current Mongul, the Mongul that is. Next up, from Tom Taylor in DC Comics, we have Dark Knights of Steel number 6. So this book has been absolutely wild. It's a modern-day Elseworlds title, and we're seeing the whole dynamic shift halfway through this. The House of Storms, the House of Elves, the Amazonians are all coming to a cross path here, where they're either going to go to war or try to band together to stop the House of El. I'm excited to see where it goes. Next up, and this is a big one, I'm going to try again, swinging for the fences here. So I tried to jump on ASM when Nick Spencer left, and I just wasn't feeling it. But now that JR is back home on The Amazing Spider-Man, I'm going to give it another shot. We have Zeb Wells, I believe, that will be taking over this title with a brand new issue number 1. And I know JR is not everybody's cup of tea, and I get that. That's fine, but he is for me. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to him hopping back on the webhead himself and seeing where they take it. Next up, Berserker continues with issue number 8 from Keanu Reeves and Matt Kent. And this one's supposed to be giving us the final little holes in his origin, as well as giving us, I guess, insight on who this other entity is that kind of created him. So getting his proper origin story in this one as well. Now, here's a big one. This one is finally wrapping up, if it actually shows up. It's been postponed and delayed more times than I can count. But Last Ronin issue number 5, the final issue of this epic event that IDW did and then ruined it by dragging it on for so long with delays, postponements. Just, it's been a nightmare getting this book out. But if you have not read it, now's your chance to be able to sit down and read the entirety of the story and see about this what if future Elseworld scenario where all the turtles died except for one. Next up, I'm very excited. Punisher issue number 2 is dropping this week. That first issue blew me away. I was so happy to see them do the character justice. We have Frank Castle has been recruited by the Hand to lead their organization of assassins. And who we all asked, why would he do this? And we got this crazy twist ending to that first issue, which I will not spoil for you here. Go back, check it out, and just see what they could be hanging over his head to keep this most deadliest man on the planet leading their organization for them. Batman Beyond the White Knight, issue number 2 is supposed to drop this week, giving us the origin of this universe, as Sean Gordon Murphy's Batman universe, this Terry McGinnis's origin story. How did he get from where he came from to where he started in issue number 1. So I'm excited for this. The first issue was an absolute blast. Sean Gordon Murphy really knows how to craft an amazing Batman story. And being that it's inside of his own universe, he has so much freedom to do all kinds of things differently. So I highly, highly recommend this series and going back and getting the previous miniseries and collected volumes if you have not already. So from Rom V, we're delivering Swamp Thing issue number 12 of 16. So we're getting the Pale Wanderer. Jason Woodrue has did his crazy lab experiments and brought this character back from the first, second issues of this story arc to go face off with Swamp Thing again, I'm assuming, or either just for his own nefarious gain. But we have Holland's daughter as well as Levi's girlfriend diving into the green to go retrieve Levi. He's lost in the green from the events of issue number 10. So I'm excited to see how Rom V plays with more of these elements of being inside of the green, as well as bringing back an intricate villain, because it's been kind of just straight up Swamp Thing against the corporate entity with a little splash of his brother Jacob in there. So I'm really excited for this parallel with the green and this character that's of the desert. So we'll see how it goes. Next up, this is a digital only pull for me right here. It's Deathstroke Inc. issue number 8, I believe. And this is Shadow War Part 3. Joshua Williamson is doing Deathstroke, Robin, and the current Batman title. So there is a crossover event happening right now through the pages of all of those titles. And this is the third installment of that crossover series. In Deathstroke Inc. number 3, Slade has been framed for the death of Ra's al Ghul, and everybody's after him, from the League of Shadows all the way to Batman himself. So, and especially Robin. Damian's out for blood. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see Deathstroke and what's his name? Respawn, hop around and evade everybody, I'm sure. Next up, it's the second to last issue of Teen Titans Academy for this run. And we have Cyborg and Gar looking like they're going to have to be merged into one entity to save both of their lives. This was kind of teased more than a year ago in the pages of Future State. So we're actually seeing this come to fruition right before the Stark Crisis event. So it looks like a lot of stuff they've kept around from this Future State storyline, a lot of it's changed. So I'm excited to see this come together, because I was been wondering for a while how that was going to play out. They never explained it, and now it looks like we're getting our explanation. We had Red X completely destroy Titan's tower. Cyborg and Gar were both injured in the event, and it's looking like to save their lives, they're going to have to do some Frankensteining. So I'm excited to see what they do with this one. Next up, Silver Surfer Rebirth issue number 4. This has been absolutely fun to read. It feels like you're a kid in the 90s all over again. We have Thanos and the Surfer having to work together to see who it was that stole the reality gem and why they're affecting reality the way that they are. Lo and behold, they run into Jack of Hearts, an old friend of the Surfers, who's trying to stop them from getting to his boss. And we will see who it is pulling the strings behind him, and more importantly, why they are pulling those strings. Next up, I'm pumped for this. We have Rogues issue number 2 from DC Black Label. Joshua Williamson is also writing this R-rated romp about the Flash's Rogues Gallery, trying to go to Gorilla City for one last heist so that they have the money that they feel that they deserve to live their lives on. The first one was amazing, had a great dynamic, and it was definitely a lot of unexpected awesomeness in there. Next up, the second part and the conclusion to Jim Ruggs' Hulk Grand Design. This one entitled Madness. This should be condensing issues of Hulk 301 to current, just kind of retelling his story in an awesome classic vintage throwback art style. The first one was really, really fun. If you haven't read a ton of old Hulk back issues and stuff, or too familiar with this history, highly recommend grabbing that first issue and this one right here. This is all you would need to know to really be up to speed on the Incredible Hulk. Next up, we have Aquaman issue number 3. So this series was currently announced that they'll be cutting it short. I don't know how many issues they initially planned on making, but I think it's only going to go for about 6 or 7. But we see that Jackson has not trusting Arthur, took off on his own, and he's trying to get to the bottom of what's going on with these Atlanteans. It looks like somebody has almost has some MK Ultra kind of plants around where people are kind of getting activated and going off the rails and bugging out. And Black Manta is being forced to work with Arthur, and Jackson was having no part of it. Now he's off on his own in the shadow of the bat is the headline on this one. I have no clue how they're going to tie Batman into it, but it is DC, so you know they'll find a way to stick Batman somewhere in it. Next up, the finale to the book that has no reason being as good as it is, but Aquaman Green Arrow Deep Target 7 of 7 right here. This has been a Freaky Friday situation where they swap bodies. You find out like an independent think tank called Scorpio, kind of was playing with time travel to affect the stock markets in the future and the corporate powerhouses of the future. And they messed up time really bad, ended up with dinosaur people, basically. I know it sounds crazy, but the book has been fun. It's been really fun. And they're back in their own bodies. They're kind of getting things back to normal. Now they're having to find out if they are in the proper reality. And I'm sure that this is going to be a great ending to what's been just a fun read. Next up, oh my gosh, I'm ready for this. Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, issue number 2. That first one was a blast. We have Freddie Williams on the artwork. We had the Power Rangers brought into Godzilla's Earth. It's the same Earth, same Angel Grove, just different multiverse here. Rita came over there to try to find some more monsters, and she teamed up with those aliens that are normally in those Godzilla movies from the 60s and stuff. And they're going to try to manipulate she's going to try to manipulate Godzilla. He's already thrashed the Green Ranger, destroyed the Dragon Zord like it was nothing. Then the rest of the team showed up, and we had a cool cliffhanger ending. So let's see if Godzilla can stand up to the Megazord or if they're going to team up. I cannot wait. It's been a blast. And finally for me this week, I have Power Rangers Universe issue number 5. This has been an offshoot title from the regular Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers series. It's kind of focusing on something far away, long ago, focusing on the Phantom Ranger. It hasn't really caught me that well. I've read 2 issues of it, and at this point, Finn has just been getting these covers because every issue features a different Ranger and that hand in a different position. So he's been loving collecting it, getting all the Rangers and everything. He's playing with his Power Rangers right now. I see you got 3 of them. He's got his Megazords and his Dragon Zord out, but that's it for this list. I tried to power through it as quick as I could. Big shout out to the Comic Vet. If you want to know what my top pick for this week is going to be and why, head over to his channel, give it a subscribe, turn on that notification, and be on the lookout. Every Sunday he posts a video where him and I give you our top pick for this week and why you should consider picking it up. And I also want to give a big thank you to the Augusta Book Exchange. They are the keepers of my comics, the guardians of my pool box. They always make sure everything is safe and secure and waiting on me every week when I get there. You will find no better customer service anywhere. If you're ever in the Augusta area, look them up, hit them up, go tell Paul and Donna we said what's up, let them know that we are Legion. So guys, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're looking forward to this week. Let me know if I left something off my list that is just a must read. I'll do my best to check it out and review it on Sunday night for At Week's End. So be sure to hit that notification bell, consider subscribing, and consider joining the channel and supporting and becoming a channel member. Every Sunday at 9 p.m., we go live for At Week's End, where we spoil this week in comics, shows, movies, and so much more. Be sure to be there. And until next time, guys, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.